Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your Thursday night? A lot of ground to cover, I'm telling you right now. Tonight, I am going to tell you about Halleys, not Haley's, Comet. And the big news tonight is of course, the Terry Nee Happy Birthday special here on the Tom Gully Show. That's not the only exciting news I have for you, though. That isn't. Peg Leg Vets here says, what about Halley? And Lyndon says, well then, good day all and happy birthday. SG Fanboy says, hit like. Yeah, I was just about to say, like, subscribe, share, retweet, direct mail, carrier pigeon, all that stuff. Pony Express, all that free stuff. We've got the super chats. Gilman was nice enough to donate during the opening song, which he apparently really likes. And we're glad you do like it because I love it too. You got to pick a song that you don't mind hearing 42,000 times. And I did. I love that song. I really love it. Already getting well wishes for Terry Nee. SG Fanboy says hit like, and that was a wonderful reminder. SG Fanboy is just really done wonderful things for this show. Probably more than I have, to be honest with you. Oh boy, I hit the camera thing pretty hard there. So the other exciting news that I have, maybe I should wait. No, it's after 6 o'clock, so the show's officially started. I usually wait till after like 6:05 for everybody to get here, and then I give all the important information. But it is Terry Nee's birthday, and happy birthday to him. Maybe we won't even see him today. If it's his birthday, maybe his wife or his loved ones have taken him out for some expensive White Castle dinner or whatever else they do in Pennsylvania. Oh, by the way, behind me is part of the galaxy. If I move the chair and had a microscope, I could show you Halley's Comet on this. But I have other pictures of Halley's Comet. Don't worry about it. You don't need to see this one. Earlier today, A&W Root Beer Zero. The only problem with A&W Root Beer Zero, no caffeine. I have to have caffeine during the show. Here is a great request. I don't know that I can fulfill this request, but I will fulfill this request. SG Fanboy says, I have a request. Can you cover the Letterman versus Leno feud? I watched tons of videos on it. Would love to hear your take. Well, here's my take. I am the first recipient of the David Letterman scholarship. And even before I got the scholarship, I was a tremendous David Letterman fan. I used to fake sick so I could watch his morning show when I was in high school. And so my position on it is this. Jay Leno is a big fat jerk. But I will do a video on it because that thing is a lot deeper. Most people don't cover the first part of their relationship very well. Now, Dave and Jay have both talked about it, but there's a lot leading up to that. And there's also that murky middle ground when Jay was hosting The Tonight Show and Johnny wasn't there. And Letterman had done that as well, but then got his own show. There's a lot there. So yes, SG, I will do that. SG Fanboy says, happy birthday, Terry. SG Fanboy also says, Team Letterman all the way. Well, here's the thing. Jay Leno, Kahuna is here. Hello, Kahuna. Jay Leno always had the better lead-in programs for the vast majority of both of their runs. You got to remember, NBC was just a monster. Especially all through the 90s. You had Seinfeld and what was that show with Helen Hunt and Mad About You. And there was that block of Friends. And it was must-see TV. And Letterman didn't have that. Letterman had the old people programming of CBS. Now, Letterman had something going for him that Leno didn't, and that was that Jay chose to not be as funny as he was on stage. I went and saw Jay Leno when he was the Tonight Show host. It was two different guys. His stand-up was phenomenal. But he was so corny on The Tonight Show and awful. But Letterman, let's not forget, Letterman, during his first show on NBC, that late night show, he pioneered so many things. He completely changed the face of television. He threw out all the rules. And well, we'll get into that when I do the show. Great suggestion, SG, and I will do that. Lyndon said, "No, that's too funny. I'm drinking a Stewart's root beer right now. I was a Letterman fan." Good. You'll fit in well here. Jenny G says, "Listening while I work, so I won't be able to chat, but wanted to say hi to everyone." Jenny G, thank you for listening while you work. We appreciate that. And to anybody, let's see how many we have on Twitter. We got 5 people on Twitter. Twitter people, we love that you listen and watch on Twitter. There's nothing wrong with that. We appreciate it. But if you come into the YouTube chat room, you'll find it's awesome. And also, we can put your comments up. Twitter doesn't allow us to do that through StreamYard. We can't do it. I can't comment on what you say. You can't comment back and be in our chat room. So just consider that, because we're happy to have you listen however you listen. We don't want to shoot a gift horse in the mouth. We don't want to shoot a gift. I may have combined 2 idioms there. Sandy Eastman is here, the Queen of Las Vegas. And she says, "Hi, Tom." Hello, Sandy. It is always nice to see and hear from you, Sandy. You're a wonderful lady. Terry Nee, the birthday boy himself. All right. Terry, we've been advertising your birthday special for the entire show. This is, of course, the Terry Nee Happy Birthday Special of the Tom Gully Show. So a very generous $10 gift, birthday party gift bag. Well, I hesitate to venture a guess as to what those party gifts might be. Let's see. Small bottle of Astroglide, some Slim Jims, a bottle opener. Anyway, let's see here. SG Fanboy saying hi to Jenny. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources. Karen Garvey's here, says happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's clever. I see what you did there, Karen. I see what you did there. Happy birthday, Terry Nee. Let's see. Joker Man Letterman was better. Of course he was better. Of course. Just one of the many says, "I'm a Hail Bop kind of guy, but I can appreciate a good Comet." We are going to do Hail Bop coming up, by the way. Joker. I always want to go Joker. Or I want to do Private Pile from Full Metal Jacket. Hi, Joker. Anyway, folks saying hi. The chef is in the house. The chef himself, Randy J. Ramos. Good to see you, Randy. Joker Fish says hello. People saying hi. Let's see. Listen, Terry Nee, I was thinking of the same thing. Listen while you work. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Homie Don't Play That is in here. Homie, it's always great to see you. Homie, for those of you who don't know, is the better half of the Chris Abel's matrimony thing there. Yeah, the sensible one. The one that keeps behind every great man stands a woman who tolerates him. And that's Homie Don't Play That. No, they're a great couple. I'm glad they found each other. It's a story for the ages. It's love, exciting and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you, and love won't hurt anymore. It's a friendly smile to an open shore. The love... Anyway. Mm-hmm. When I do the show, I have to turn the AC off. Otherwise, it makes a lot of noise. It does make a lot of noise, but it makes more than I will tolerate due to my very exacting broadcast standards that I, hold in high regard. And so I'm getting real hot, and that's why I'm going to the beverage. It is Dallas, Texas, after all. People saying hi. Joker says Terry Nee, bird's the word. Terry Nee says bag of Pervitine. Well, you got to have a bag. No social gathering is complete without a bag of Pervitine, especially if you sprechen Sie Deutsch. Ich möchte eine kleine Stück Pervitine, bitte. Hoffentlich du wirst deine... Anyway, Joker. Mahalo, Kahuna. Mahalo indeed. Karen Garvey says, honey, what time is Killing It with the Ables tonight? Is there a show called Killing It with the Ables? God, I hope there is. I want that so badly, Karen Garvey. I so want that. Let's see. Homie says, happy birthday, Terry Nee. Hope it's as awesome as you are. I agree with that. People saying hi. Sven Dunkel's here. He says hi. Jokerfish. Hey. Gilman says, from the Knights Who Say Nee. Happy birthday, Terry. Use a bucket with ice water. Okay. Now, here's some big news I have for you. This is big news. You guys are going to love this. You're going to love it. We even spoke yesterday to our very good friend, Wild Bill. As you guys know, Wild Bill and I talk offline, or at least we have in the past. By the way, Gilman, very, very generous. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hunga says, Tom only speaks German when he needs meth. I only speak German when I'm, sprechen auf Fußball. Hoffentlich gewinnt unser Fußballspiel. No, it would be hoffentlich unser Fußballspiel gewinnt. Or traveling, das Anfliegen. I speak German very intermittently. I also speak it when I need cake. Ich möchte ein Stück Torte, bitte. Karen Garvey says, yes, Tom, Killing It with the Ables is a show. It's fun. This is the first time hearing of this show. Is it on tonight? If so, when? So I can plug away. For Killing It with the Ables. I want to see that show. Why is this the first time hearing of this? Miss Crabtree, get in here. Anyway. Gesundheit, Tom. No, bitte. Here's the big news that I have that you're going to love. Our good friend Wild Bill called us last night on this program, and we talked. We said things to each other in English, words, A little less than a week from today, you will be able, on Wednesdays, at least one Wednesday, to watch a program that I have been informed, and I didn't get much information on this, is called Wild Bill's Conspiracy Theories. Yes. Papa Mau Mau. Yes. Let's see. Terry Nee, happy birthday. Tom, I love your show. Thank you, homie. That is so... Homie, do you have any older, hot friends that I could meet? Anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. It'd be great if they were independently wealthy with bad eyesight, bad judgment, and really big, ideals. Cushion. Yes, Cushion indeed. Let's see. The Ables have a super fun show. Why am I just now hearing it? Well, why? 13 whole episodes. I'm just now hearing about this. I feel like I'm like the last guy on the block that, found out they made decaffeinated coffee or something. Karen Garvey says, Killing It with the Ables, episode 13 tonight at 9:30 p.m. I'm assuming that's Eastern, which would be 8:30 my time, and I will be there for that. Hungus says, Wie Spaß be there, Tom Gully Show. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Homie No Play that says, Killing It with the Ables at 9:30 tonight on the Old Replayables channel, which is 100 proof podcasting. Enough about us, on with your show. Not enough about you. I think that's great. You need to move that over to the Levyverse or something. Unless you have a big audience there, in which case stay where you're at. But so let me get to this Wild Bill thing, because I know you guys are going to be interested in that. And then we'll get to what Terry wanted, which was Halleys, not Haley's, Comet. Halleys, not Halleys. Comet. Let me see this thing he sent me. Let me see this thingamaboober he sent me. Come on. Why it gotta be like that? Why it gotta be like that? I just had, you know how Facebook recommends things to you from, your past postings? Well, it reminded me, there was a period of time, I think it was maybe about 10 years ago, maybe a little less than that, that Julie Newmar was commenting on my Facebook comments and postings. Julie Newmar. I still go a little weak in the knees, I'm telling you. I don't care if she's 90. Doesn't matter to me. Let me just click on this thing here. It says Wild Bill Conspiracy Theories. That's on another show, I think. It says Wednesday 8 at 1 p.m. That'd be 1 p.m. my time. And it looks like it's on Facebook. 2 o'clock Eastern. So yeah, it's 1 my time, 2 o'clock Eastern. It says we discuss conspiracy theories. Theories is theory with an apostrophe S, which is really bothers me. It's not how you do it, but so I don't know who. Oh, it's by the Shadow Vodcast. So we'll promote that as time goes along. But Wild Bill will be on a show. This is cool too because it's got him in his reverend's collar in the picture on the Shadow Vodcast. It says we talked to Bill about some of the leading conspiracy theories, but please keep in mind that these are often not based in verified facts or evidence. Conspiracy theories are explanations or scenarios that attribute the ultimate cause of an event to a chain of events and secret or sinister plots by groups of people or organizations. Here are a few well-known ones. Blah, 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 blah. So Wild Bill will be doing that. So there you go. I was hoping he had his own show. Daggone it. Pooh. Terry Nee. I think Wild Bill is actually G. Gordon Liddy. That's really funny. People saying thank you and hi and Wild Bill's show. Yeah, good. G. Gordon Liddy is from my hometown. Aku says live from an OSHA violation. Evening, everyone. Terry Nee. Oh, man. Thank you, homie. Hungus says the moon is fake. Well, maybe. Before we go any further, well, hold on here a second. I'm thinking of bringing back the show Rantings of a Madman, once a week show. Do it, Bill. Do it, Wild Bill. I'm going to have maybe some schedule changes in my life coming up pretty quick here, but after those stabilize, maybe that's a member show. I can put a member show on with you or something. Homie, don't play that, says, but of course. But of course. Before we go any further, though, I just want to say that not just on this show, but on other shows, because that's where I first became aware of Terry Nee. Terry Nee is a very intelligent and well-rounded. He has a lot of knowledge, well-rounded, but also an extremely funny man. And I think this chat room and this show has benefited greatly from him being around, as have others. And so that's why we're so happy to wish him a happy birthday here today. So again, happy birthday to our good friend Terry Nee. Let's see here. Hi there, Wild Bill. I would love to hear another phone call from the Rev tonight. Yeah, that's why he needs his own show, guys. Other people to call it too. Aka says, Wild Bill, I'd ask if you wanted a co-host, but my schedule is packed. Yeah, you're falling off of things. But yeah, we might have a call from Wild Bill. Who knows? We always welcome that. Jokerfish says, only conspiracy I believe is Eddie Wilson didn't die. He faked it. I hate to tell you this, Jokerfish, but Eddie and the Cruisers 2, Eddie lives. That's all I'm going to say. We're not ready yet, kid. I'm fashionably late again. Sorry. Diana O'Brien, no one is ever late to the Tom. Got it. Yeah, you know. Homie Don't Play That says, Terry Nee is an awesome guy. We have met, and I feel smarter. I've never met Terry in person. Reverend Wild Bill says, Aku, maybe a guest co-host sometimes. Terry Nee says, I was the youngest of 4. Humor was survival. Well, I can imagine. I was the oldest of 6, and humor was survival. I can imagine being the youngest of 4. Happy birthday, Terry. There you go. There you go. People saying, okay, it's time to open my thing. Better open my thing. I am sweating like a you-know-what in church. Let me get to this Halley's Comet. I'm going to breeze through a lot of things that I would normally cover because Terry specifically wanted information about the, 1910 appearance. So that's what we're going to focus on. Because this sucker's been around for a long time. Reverend Bill says, I'm limited to one phone call a week to the Gully Show. No, you're not. Hello, Wild Bill. Hey, Joker. You're just limited to 10 minutes a week. You can call as many times. I'm kidding. I'm joking. You can call as much as you want to. I don't care. Does anybody get the feeling that I care about this show all the time? No, it's just once in a while. All right, let me put a picture up here before I start blathering on about this subject. Let me tell you about this right here. Was taken, I think, from the British Museum. And that's a picture of Halley's Comet. Yeah, I'm telling you. Uh-oh. SG Fanboy has shared a photo with me. And the photo... Please don't make me Jay Leno. Dear Lord God of hosts, don't make me Jay Leno. For God's sakes. Yeah, you can make me Letterman, but don't make me Jay Leno, for God's sake. Well, yeah, go ahead and do it. It's kind of funny. But I think you made me look more like me with Leno than with... they're both great. What am I arguing about? They're both great. They're both really, really good. I'm telling you, they're really, really good. Let's see here. Whenever SG sends me something, I have to spring to the bat phone because I know it's going to be super awesome. We'll get those up when we do the actual show on that subject. Woo. Okay, let me get into this, and then I'll get into some of your chats. Your chats. Because I feel like I've blathered way too much for the top of this show. Okay, so Halley's Comet, also known as Comet Halley, or simply Halley, is the only known short period comet that is constantly visible to the naked eye from Earth. And it appears every 75 to 79 years. It last appeared in inner parts of our solar system in 1986 and will next appear in 2061. Okay. Now, a lot of people pronounce this Halley, and I think it's because of Bill Haley and the comets, but really it's Halley, Halley's Comet. Mm-hmm. And it's called that because it was... Look, the thing has been observed and recorded by astronomers around the world since at least 240 BC. But it wasn't until 1705 that the astronomer Edmund Halley understood that these appearances were reappearances of the same comet. And for that reason, the comet is named after him. And during its 1986 visit to the solar system, Halley's Comet became the first comet to be observed in detail by spacecraft. And that provided the first observational data on the structure of the comet nucleus and the mechanism of the comet and tail formation. So those observations, by the way, did support a number of long-standing beliefs about the construction of the comet, and particularly Fred Whipple's dirty snowball model, which predicted that it would be comprised of a mixture of volatile ices, such as water, carbon dioxide, ammonia, and dust. So there you go. That's what it's made up of, by the way. It's made up of those things. Oh, man. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you right now the nucleus, the actual nucleus of Halley's Comet. This is the actual nucleus. It's the chunk that the rest of it is flying off of. There you go. How about that? You didn't think I had that, did you? I bet you got up this morning and said, I bet that Tom Gully guy doesn't have the nucleus of Halley's Comet, that stoop. Yeah, well, the joke's on you. Yeah, so. By the way, Edmund Halley, the guy who discovered it, was like a friend of Isaac Newton. And Isaac Newton had written about comets in a little bit in this book he wrote about natural principles and mathematics, but he didn't go into the detail that Halley's did. So Halley predicted, because he charted the orbit and everything, that it would come back again. And he predicted the return for 1758. But he died in 1742, so he couldn't scoreboard everybody. You know, he couldn't. He wasn't, you know. He'd seen it before, the last time it came by. But, you know. So Halley's Comet has orbited the Earth, or come past the Earth, every 74 to 79 years since 240 BC. Now, that's just the first time somebody sort of observed it and chronicled it. I'm sure it was happening long before that, but that's the first time. And when you think about it, that's, you know, over 230 years ago, around 230 years ago. 2,200. Yeah, 2,230. So its orbit around the sun is very elliptical. It's a big ellipse, and that's why it only comes by that often. So, by the way, that sucker is traveling at 157,800 miles per hour. Yeah, so, you know, there you go. There you go. So a couple of space missions. The Giotto mission, which was a European space mission, is basically a space probe, and the Venus program gave planetary scientists their very first view of the surface of the comet and its structure. Now, like all comets, as it nears the sun, the volatile components, those elements of the comet that have a low boiling point, like water, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and other ices, begin to sort of detach themselves from the comet because of the heat turning it into gas. Okay? So the surface of that nucleus, parts of it start to heat up and become a gas, and that's what makes the tail, the comet, so to speak. Evaporation of this dirty ice releases dust particles, which travel in the gas away from the nucleus, and those heat up, and that also makes part of the tail. But that's the part that causes fluorescence. That's the part that makes the tail light up so that you can see the tail of the comet. So, despite the fact that, I'll show you a picture here that'll illustrate this. Despite the fact, I'll just show you the one I showed you. See, it's got a pretty long tail to it. Here's another one. This was taken from Harvard, I believe, in the 1800s, or maybe this was Harvard, I believe, in 1910. This is the one that Terry likes. See how long that tail is? Well, even though the tail of this comet is very long, the nucleus, that part I showed you just a second ago, is relatively small for a comet. It's about 9 miles by 5 miles and about 5 miles thick. So it looks sort of like a peanut shell, all right? And its density, it's basically made of a bunch of small pieces held together very loosely, forming what they call a rubble pile. It's just a bunch of chunks of stuff, stuck together. So it is the most active of all periodic comets. There are others, the Encke Comet and the Holmes Comet, but those are nowhere near as active as the other one. So the history of the comet before 1066, all right? And it's really fascinating because there's all sorts of things that scientists have found and said they're talking about Halley's Comet because of the time of the year. They can tell that the comet was coming by, and that's what this is. There's paintings with it in the sky because it's visible to the naked eye. So this is a Babylonian observation, and that is like BC, 164, I think it says. So there it is, carved into rock. And here it is in the Talmud. The Talmud has a reference to Halley's Comet. So it may have been recorded as early as 467 BC, but it's not absolutely certain. A comet was recorded in ancient Greece between 468 and 466 BC, and its timing, location, duration, and associated meteor shower all suggest that it was Halley, but they can't say that for sure. The first certain appearance of Halley's Comet in the historical record of any kind is a description from 240 BC in the Chinese Chronicle Records of the Grand Historian, which describes a comet that appeared in the east and moved north. The only surviving record of the 164 BC apparition, which is what an appearance is called, the appearance of the comet is called an apparition, is found on 2 fragmentary Babylonian tablets now in the British Museum, one of which I just showed you. And I'm going to show you again. Ta-da! So they're starting to observe this, right? In 87 BC, Babylonian tablets saw it again. The comet was seen at day beyond day for a month. The apparition of 12 BC was recorded in the Book of Han by Chinese astronomers of the Han Dynasty. So there you go. The 141 AD apparition was recorded in Chinese chronicles. The 374 AD and 607 AD approaches of the comet came within 0.09 astronomical units of Earth. And one of those units, it may sound like that was super close, and it is from an astronomical, standpoint, but it's like 149 billion miles away, something like that. It's pretty far. The 760 AD was recorded in Zunquin's Chronicle, which is near the Tigris, that area, I would say is where that is. What did I just do here, for crying out loud? Anyway, in 1066, the comet was seen in England, and it was thought to be an omen. Later that year, Harold II of England died at the Battle of Hastings, and William the Conqueror claimed the throne. And the comet is represented in a tapestry as a star that's hauling things behind it. But they thought that was an omen of how this change in leadership was going to occur. The appearance of the comet is also noted in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle by Elmer of Malmesbury. And he may have seen the comet in 989 and 1066. Let's see, in 1145, it was recorded, and the 1986 apparition had a tail almost identical to what this guy drew. In 1456, the next apparition, the Ottoman Empire invaded the Kingdom of Hungary, culminating in the siege of Belgrade in July of that year. And Pope Calixtus III ordered special prayers to be said for the city's protection. And then the hairy and fiery star made its appearance for several days, and mathematicians declared there would be grievous pestilence, death, and some great calamity. And that's when Calixtus, to avert the wrath of God, ordered supplications that if evils were impending for the human race, he would turn upon all Turks, the enemies of the Christian name. Blah, blah, blah. They still attacked the city, so it didn't do that much good. Comet appeared again in 1531. From 1531 to 1759, there was a lot more scientific investigation. That, in fact, is when the comet was named after Edmund Halley. One breakthrough occurred when Halley talked with Isaac Newton about his ideas about the laws of motion. And Newton helped Halley get data on the 1682 apparition. And so by studying the data on 1531, 1607, 1682 comets, he came to the conclusions these were the same comet and presented his findings in 1696. Now, one difficulty was accounting for variations in the orbital period, which was, wasn't exact. It was from 74 to 79 years. And Newton had theorized that delays were caused by gravity of other comets, but Halley found that Jupiter and Saturn were causing these delays. It wasn't the gravity of other comets, it was the gravity of these giant planets. So in the decades that followed, more refined mathematics would be worked on, and they'd actually get to the root of the problem. So 1835, an Irishman used a lens telescope and sketched the comet. It was sketched by several people, as a matter of fact. So they described the comet's tail as being more broad and not as long as the comet in 1843. But what did they know? They weren't around. So let's get to 1910, because that's the one that Terry Nee, the birthday boy, happy birthday, Terry Nee. By the way, like, share, subscribe, do all those crazy, wacky, funky white boy things and enjoy those. That is Halley's Comet, most recently, I think from 86. But he's the birthday boy. So just go ahead and say happy birthday to him. But like, share, subscribe, retweet, do all those things you can do for free. We are accepting your super chats because we're monetized now. Also, turn on your gifted memberships. You can do so by following the instructions at the bottom of the crawl on screen right now. But it's just go to youtube.com/@TomGullyShow/allow_gifts. There you go. And then somebody may gift you a freebie membership, man. Happens all the time. I think Sunday Jenna got one recently. So the 1910 approach, which came into naked eye around the 10th of April and came to its end on the 20th of April, was notable for several reasons. It was the first approach of which actual photographs exist, and the first for which spectroscopic data was obtained. And I hear many of you crying out, what is spectroscopic data? Well, that is something where they can measure and interpret electromagnetic spectrums, the ranges of color. So it's the precise study of color as generalized from visible light to all bands of light. That's what they were able to do then. Furthermore, the comet made a relatively close approach at 0.15 astronomical units, making it a spectacular sight back in 1910. Indeed, on the 19th of May, Earth actually passed through the tail of the comet, which results in meteor showers. One of these substances discovered by the tail, right, was the toxic gas cyanogen. All right? So, that's the, that's the thing that people were scared about that Terry was talking about yesterday. It's the simplest stable carbon nitride. Colorless, highly toxic, pungent odor. There you go. That's probably all you need to know about that. Which led the press to misquote the astronomer Camille Flamartin by stating that he claimed when Earth passed through the tail, the gas would impregnate the atmosphere and possibly snuff out all life on the planet. Despite reassurances from scientists that the gas would not inflict harm on Earth, the damage had already been done in the newspapers, and with members of the public panic buying gas masks and quackery like anti-comet pills, and get this, Terry Nee, anti-comet umbrellas. I know how I'll keep that dangerous gas away with my anti-comet umbrella. The comet added to the unrest in China on the eve of the Xinhai Revolution that would end the last dynasty in 1911. The people just went crazy there. In some places, doors were unopened for days. No water was carried. Many did not even drink water because it was rumored that the pestilent vapor was being poured upon the earth from the comet and infecting all the water. The 1910 visitation is also recorded as being the traveling companion of Hedley Churchward. Yes, of course, Hedley Churchward, the first known English Muslim to make the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca. However, his explanation of its scientific predictability did not meet with favor in the holy city. I don't really care for that sort of thing. Science and stuff. The comet was used in an advertising campaign of Le Bon Marché, a well-known department store in Paris. The comet was also fertile ground for hoaxes. One that reached major newspapers claimed that the Sacred Followers, a supposed Oklahoma religious group, attempted to sacrifice a virgin to ward off the impending disaster, but they were stopped by the police. And of course, we all know this is a hoax, because have you ever tried to find a virgin in Oklahoma? Sorry, I'm from Texas. I'm allowed to take a little swipe at Oklahoma once in a while. Love you, Oklahoma. Mean it. American satirist and writer Mark Twain, I'm sure you're familiar with him, was born on the 30th of November, 1835, exactly 2 weeks after the comet's arrival and when it left. Okay. In his autobiography, published in 1909, he said, "I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It's coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it. It will be the greatest disappointment of my life if I don't go out with Halley's Comet. The Almighty has said, no doubt. Now, here are these two unaccountable freaks. They came in together. They must go out together." Well, Mark Twain died on the 21st of April, 1910, the day after the comet left. So there you go. Halley's 1910 apparition is distinct from the Great Daylight Comet of 1910, which surpassed Halley in brilliance and was visible in broad daylight for a short period, approximately 4 months before Halley made its appearance. It was very visible to the naked eye, that one, but it was not a reoccurring comet. So, in 1986, the apparition was the least favorable on record. And I do remember all the hubbub in 86. I was working at a radio station and Halley's this, Halley's that, Halley's this, Halley's that. But it was not a good way to see Halley's Comet. And I'm going to tell you why. The comet and the Earth were on opposite sides of the sun. So it was the worst circumstance to observe it for 2,000 years. And increased light pollution from urbanization made it so that it's too bright for you to see the comet contrast off the night sky. So There's a bunch of other stuff about it that I'm not going to get to because I want to get to your chats while there's still time, and I want to, I guess, go through the motions of opening up the phone lines here. Killing it with the Ables. At first, I've heard of it. 12 whole episodes. And nobody bothers to tap old Tom on the shoulder and tell him about this show. That's just... let me see here. Hunga says, I survive East Belgium swamp survival was survival. I don't know what that means. Reverend Bill says, 10 minutes a week. Hell, that's not even one phone call. It's funny. As you all know, to eldest of 6, we've covered that. And you have my condolences, Diana, by the way. Hungus has got a planet there. People are laughing. Let's see, deny. Terry Nee, the birthday boy, says, I would love Wild Bill to explain the minutia of Gully in full, expansive, pedantic detail. He could do it. He's got a lot of deep insight. As long as I can make adjustments occasionally. Doctor says he's a wee bit late. Nobody is ever late to the Tom Gully show. Least of all you, Doctor. We're just glad you're here. Man, Hungus, Sven Uncle breaking out all of the space age emojis. Phone lines are open at 972-994-6822. People saying hi in the most cheerful chat room on the internet. It's verified by independent sources. Well, Tom, you proved me wrong. I should have known you'd have the nucleus of Halley's Comet. People saying hi. Diane O'Brien says, shame you and I won't see it again in our lifetime. Speak for yourself, sister. I didn't really care to see it the first time. I just lived through a full total eclipse, solar eclipse. I'm good. Doc Torn just grooving at Terry Nee. I could do that in the most pedantic way. Oh yeah, when me and Wild Bill get together, it's pedantic meets pedantic. Jokerfish, what makes the comet fly the same way, the same path? Well, it doesn't take exactly the same path, and that's the point. Is it not only it kind of takes the same path, but it's a little deviated by the gravities of Saturn and Jupiter, and it also has to contend with our orbit, with our Earth's orbit. Okay, so those things aren't necessarily synced to each other perfectly. So that's the reason it's the variation between 74 and 79 years. Homie Don't Play That says, I remember when Halley's Comet was coming, I was like, why can't they name a comet after me? Actually, homie, I don't know if they can name a comet after you, but you know that you can spend $20 and get a planet or a star named after you, right? They've been doing that for ages. They can do that, though. And you deserve one, by the way. Doctor says, I heard it's the sun's gravity. I think they proved it was Saturn. And although the sun might slow it down because when it gets close to the sun, it does start to melt those frozen things and turn them into gas. Samuel Langhorn Clemens came in with the comet, left with the comet. You're darn tootin', Wild Bill. The Wolf says, hello, everyone. Thumbs up at cow and beer. We left our blood and skin at the Dewdrop Inn. Aku says, what's wild to think of is that Harvard was around 300 years before the Mayans. You're darn right it was. Evening Wolf, people saying hi to each other, most cheerful chat room on the internet, verified by independent sources. Diana Bryan says, was it the Bout tapestry? I believe it was, Diana. Well, look at Diana with her knowledge of the British Museum. Pip, hip, cheerio. Yes, hail Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. The Wolf said, Charles Bronson had 7 kids. What is it with Western stars? Eastwood has a bunch of kids, too. I saw Kurt Russell on a talk show the other day, and he talked about being on The Adventures of Jamie McFeeters. I may have told this on the show recently. In fact, I think I did. But he found out, Kurt Russell, as a boy, he was only like 7, 8, 9 years old, that it was Charles Bronson's birthday, and he gave him a gift, and Bronson just walked away from him. And he thought, wow, that's not like that. And then later on, one of the stagehands said, Mr. Bronson would like to see you. And Bronson had him into his trailer and said, I'm sorry I reacted that way. No one's ever given me a birthday gift before. Because Charles Bronson grew up in a very rough life of coal mining and was one of many children himself. Lori Dancer says, hiya. I heard a mystery to talk about Newton, who was greatly encouraged by Halley. Okay. I just edited maybe. That's awesome, Lori. That's very cool. The Wolf says, thumbs up at cow and ale. Not sure why the ale was omitted. Wasn't omitted. They just had symbols for beer. Happy birthday, Terry. Yes, everybody. Happy birthday, Terry Nee. I feel pretty good knowing there's a Terry Nee in the world. You know what I mean? Diane O'Brien's got a birthday cake there for him. People saying hi. Terry Nee, skull to you on your birthday. Hi, I just edited a mystery detective novel for a friend about Newton's Book of Laws. He was quite the curmudgeon. And Halley encouraged Newton to publish his findings. My good man, you must publish these findings. I don't know if I want to do that or not. No, I'm telling you, my good man. Doc, Kim, Hamhead, everybody. Lori Dancer says to the Wolf, your ale turned into 2 beer steins. Pretty neat talent. Oh, hey, the Wolf can make beer come out of... The Wolf makes like 40 proof beer that you can't taste the alcohol in. It's insane. Hello, Hamhead. And the phone lines are open, but they won't be for much longer. Aku says, just like Love Canal, we thought you knew, Tom, Abel's show. I just watched that American Experience about Love Canal. My God. Good gravy. Let me get rid of that. That's bugging me. Lyndon says, must admit, I haven't heard of the show myself. How did this get missed? Hey, you guys need to talk to your PR people about that. And by the way, they should advertise that on Replayables. See, they should say, and don't forget, on Thursday nights, Killing It with the Ables. Jerry Sandusky, boy. Did you have to do that on Terry Nee's birthday? Big fan. Who would you feel more comfortable babysitting your children for 4 hours? Myself or Stuttering John? I don't have any children. Hamhead says, I was 2 in 86. Doubt I saw it. Yeah, but you don't know for sure. Aku said, remember, Earth doesn't really revolve around the sun. It's more of chasing a corkscrew. Yes. Homino Planet says, thank you, Tom, but I kind of wanted national recognition. I'm just kidding. Well, and so you shall. Star Standusky is located by the 11. Oh, man, that's just... Aku says a lot of those Name a Star sites are fraudulent. Well, yeah, you got to get a good Name a Star site. You can't get just any old run-of-the-mill Name a Star site. You got to go with a top quality name brand. Jerry, you'll always be last. You got that right. By the way, Jerry can't babysit anybody. He's taking a dirt nap. The Wolf says, Lori, I have homebrewed beer for about 40 years. Yes. First person I ever knew that drank Grolsch. I never saw Grolsch before I met the Wolf with his fancy cap beer. The Reverend Wild Bill says, what is this about a black hole? SG Fanboy says, I bet myself $20 you wouldn't have Halley's Comet nucleus. Boy, do I feel silly. SG Fanboy, you are far too generous. Thank you so much. There's Jogine Blazer, who frequently posts videos on Facebook and things, and used to be my next door neighbor when I lived in Utah. And we both got smoked out of our apartments by a coal furnace one time. Anyway, SG rocks. SG just rocks. That's all there is to it. Homie says, Aku, I thought perhaps they were. Aku says, I can't hold a beer down, but I can make a great hard cider, 25%. I'll be shortly starting a few batches. All right. Karen Garvey says, my husband is not part of my para-socializing. He looked at our calendar and said, who's Terry Nee? I replied, who's Terry Nee? Like he was crazy for not knowing, but he laughed when I explained. That's funny. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Sven Dunkel says Grolsch is pretty good. I met punk rockers from Europe that drank Grolsch beer, says the Joker. Nice, SG. Nice. SG is just awesome. And what have we learned tonight? I'll get to that in a second. Dupa. My wife has no idea who Terry Nee is. The Wolf says the Earth revolves around the sun in relation to the background star. Also lumped in there with the moon is the gibbous phase, which you would know if you went absorpine with the Wolf. Let's go absorpine. SG Fanboy is saying hi to Karen Garvey. What have we learned today? Well, let me see if I can make this happen properly.
Well, the first thing we learned, if I could say just one last thing, we learned that Grolsch is really good beer. And I noticed when you get a Grolsch, you get the fancy cap on it. Well, that cap made this impression on the nightstand. And it was then I knew you were the murderer. Can I ask one more thing?
Let's see here. I motion this epic chat and our wonderful host meet up for a horn of ale. Well, I don't drink, so. But if we ever do have Gully Palooza, GullyCon, I would break that rule. I would have like 3 fingers of Redbreast single pot distilled Irish whiskey. It's very expensive. Jokerfish says, I thought the Earth revolved around Stuttering John. You're not the only one, Joker. I know somebody else that thinks that. Very cool about brewing. 40 proof, Tom says, the Wolf. And Grolsch bottles are neat. SG Fanboy says, pretty damn good Columbo impression. That's not my good one. I wasn't doing it very well for that one. Let's see. T. Leno. Tom Leno. I'm going to download those for tomorrow. See, the thing is, Wild Bill, that StreamYard makes me convert those into PDFs. So SG sends them to me in JPEG form, like any other normal human. The thing behind me on the wall is a JPEG. I don't have to convert it. But all the images that you see, like this one, all have to be converted into a PDF. You know why? You know why? Because they're supposed to be helping, but they're not helping. Gilman says, Gulumboits. I don't know what that is. Galumbo. I'm dying here. Yeah, there's Galumbo. Dupa.
You know, if I could ask you just one more thing. You said the wine from your cellar is never taken out at anything but room temperature. Well, the wine glass next to the body had a ring of perspiration, which led me to believe that the murderer froze the wine and allowed it to melt to make it look as if it was just poured.
Anyway. Man, he can't do that one long without having a problem. Let's see here. The Wolf says, I watched Fallout today. There's an absorbatorium in it as the last battle. I actually brewed a 58 proof stout. Man, let me tell you something. The Wolf makes beer that will knock you in the dirt, and you won't even know how much alcohol is in it, and you can't taste it. He also makes a legendary libation known as the Guru, where you can't taste the alcohol either. You have 4 or 5 glasses of this stuff because it's delicious and refreshing. Next thing you know, you're wandering around behind the little animals. Aku says, I just use Carboys because the local store sells the cider in 1-gallon bottles. Just add yeast, sugar, and it's off. There you go. Lori Dancer says, ooh, I liked Fallout. There you go. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Karen Garvey. Terry Nee says, golf today in low humidity, hot PA weather. Great day. I didn't know you were a golfer, Terry. Was not aware that you were a golfer. Or we would have had a golf themed show or something of that nature. But by the way, thank you so much again, SG, for your generosity and that super chat. It was really nice. And thanks to Terry Nee. And all I hope he gets for his birthday is another birthday. I really hope that happens. He is a wonderful guy. and he'll always be older than me. Here's to that. Music in Fallout is excellent. Well, okay. Well, we're getting that old clock on the wall says it's just about time for the Tom Gully Show to come to a close. But I'm going to tell you right now, Killing It with the Ables will begin at, I think they said 9:30 Eastern time. Was that the time? Let me go back up here and see if I can find it. Bird, the word. Killing It with the Ables. 9:30 Eastern. 9:30 East, so 8:30 my time. So please watch that. Please watch that. Those two are great together. And maybe they'll tell the story of their love and how they met and became a couple. And the rest, as they say, is here for posterity's sake. It's a wonderful story. Golfed since 8. No hole in one. Apparently, weather's taking a turn for the best next week in the UK. We'll see. It should be because it took a turn here about a month ago. So you're just about a month, or maybe it's a week or the weather front, but the climate, I don't know. Doctrine says science says people who have more birthdays tend to live longer. That's true. 3 out of 4 people comprise 75% of the population. Gilman says golf is great any day. I suck at golf. Just suck at it. Night peoples. Good night, Spenduncle. Thank you for being here. The Wolf says it sure is. Some of those songs are Nat. 9:30 Eastern time. Killing It with the Ables. Terry says I wanted Cubs to win the World Series and a hole-in-one before I died. So waiting on a hole-in-one. Waiting on a hole-in-one is isn't that a Pete Seeger song? Anyway. Hey, I think there's a Rico starting and other things are starting, and I got to get out of here because I'm sweating, and I got to get the AC back on. And Terry Nee, happy birthday. I want to make a special thank you to Gilman and Terry Nee and Homie Don't Play That and SG Fanboy for your lovely donations and supporting the show. That was really awesome of you. And with all that being said, I think the only thing left to say is, till next time, we'll see you next time.
Right out of my pants.